Good afternoon, teachers. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon po.
How are you? Okay, so let's have first our system check. Okay. May I ask for a like react if you can hear me clearly? Is my audio clear? Am I not glitching? Can you give me? Okay, thank you. Shannon, Love, Genevieve. How about the others? Am I not clear to you? Okay, how about a heart react if you can see the screen I'm sharing right now? Okay, can you give me heart react if you can see the objectives, these emotion, what meter here? Okay, great, great. How about the others? Thank you, teachers. Okay, let's pray first before I ask. Okay, for a human check, let's pray. May I call Ma'am Lourdes? Can you unmute and lead the prayer? Ma'am Lourdes, okay, you may unmute. Thank you. Is Ma'am Lourdes there? How about Ma'am Shannon? Since you are unmuted, can you lead the prayer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Um, Lord, thank you po sa panibagong araw na ito para matuto kami ng mga new lessons and sana po lahat ng mga present dito and your others po is safe na sa lahat ng mga sakunang nangyari this past few weeks and months. Sana po this new month, this December, maging okay na lang po lahat and i-welcome po namin ang new year ng isang maayos at healthy na mga tao po sa paligid namin. And our mental health din po, sana okay lang po lahat. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Ma'am Shannon. That's a wonderful prayer. Yeah, and with that, I would like to greet you. Merry Christmas. Right? Merry Christmas, teacher, since it's what December 1st. Okay, it's the start of the Advent or the arrival. So, yeah, I declare hope for everybody. Thank you also for praying for those who got affected by Typhoon Ulysses and other, calamities. Thank you for that. Later, we'll have, a mini chit chat about that. For now, can we have our screenshot? Please turn on your video. Okay, for now. So we are 19. Okay, we are earlier we were many. Okay, but now we're 19 in this. Okay, I will count in 3 seconds. Let us wait for the others. They still want to join our screenshot. Okay, let's start. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, that will do. Thank you so much, teachers. You may turn off your video if your internet connection is not stable. Okay, just make sure to stay with us. All right, throughout the afternoon. Okay, now let's have our human check. Can you, the usual, right? Please type in the chat a one word feeling. Today, are you feeling cold? Even though it's late in the afternoon, but right, I think when November starts, I think we feel cold, right? Because it's near Christmas season. Please type in the chat. Are you feeling hungry? I hope not. I hope you have taken your lunch because it's already late. It's really late to eat lunch. Okay. What else? By the way, I also provided you the streaming link for our class today. I sent the YouTube streaming link in the chat. So if you got disconnected, you may go to the YouTube link. But please join us again once we start with our breakout session activities later. Okay. Please type in the chat. How are you feeling today? Are you feeling happy, sad, stressed? Okay, I would like to hear from you. Okay, feeling fine. Thank you, ma'am. Feeling tired. Okay, maybe some of you are still working. Feeling cold. Wow. Okay, feeling okay. Excited. Wow. Thanks, Ma'am Shannon. I hope we can, what do you call this? I mean, yeah, we can affect others with that excitement, or maybe you are what waiting for something, or there's an answer prayer for you. Thank you for that excitement. How about the others? Feeling what? Feeling beautiful today? Feeling handsome today? Okay, can may I also ask someone? Just okay, wow. Okay, feeling positive. I like it. Okay, Ma'am Lynn is feeling positive today. Okay, feeling hopeful. Okay. May I ask someone who got affected by typhoon? How are you coping with the situation? Do we have someone who lives in those places? Okay, Ma'am Shannon, where do you live? You may unmute.
Ma'am, sa Kainta po.
Okay, so and what happened? What happened to your house during the typhoon?
Hindi naman po siya ganong affected kasi mataas po yung bahay namin. Pero yung others po sa other part ng village, halos lagpas tao po.
Oh, okay. And imagine, right? Imagine the grace of God, right? That was spared to you at that moment because imagine you said that you are in the same village, right? But your house was spared from it. So, how are you coping with that? Were you able to clean as well? I mean, at least the first floor got affected, no?
Po, opo, ano po kami, kasi pinasok po yung bahay ng konti. Tapos naglinis po kami noon. Tapos yung mga sasakyan po inabot din. Tapos nagpaano din ma'am, kahit konti, nagbigay sa kabit sa iba.
Thank you for your generosity, right? I mean, it's a common nature, right, of the Filipinos to help, even though they're the ones, right, who got affected by the calamity. Thank you, Ma'am Shannon. Okay, thank you also for praying for everybody. Yeah, feel like flying, Sir Nixon. Sir Nick, feel like flying. Okay. Ah, okay, lutang. I thought you were flying because okay. Feeling lutang. Okay, well, that's understandable. It felt like, right? It felt like we were from a sem break, right? And I think it's longer than a usual sem break during October season, the usual sem break. Imagine 3 weeks, right? But yeah, we thank the Lord for His grace. You're still with me today, right? And we're alive, we're healthy, right? We're eating, we can help others, and so on. I also would like to share how gracious God is because I live in Marikina City, and you know, right? You're aware how affected Marikina City was during that time. But again, our subdivision was spared again from it. I mean, right? I mean, outside, like really streets around us were affected. There were floods around us, but okay, our subdivision was not affected. So in that case, yeah, we are also glad to help others to send some at least relief, okay, to others to help. So yeah, okay, so I hope, right, we're all at least, right, striving to cope with whatever is happening right now. Okay, so thank you for sharing what you're feeling today. So at least, right, again, we can transcend our excitement, our positivity to our classmates. So thank you for your hope as well, right, to attend this class, and I really appreciate that. So with that, let's start with okay our objectives for today or all throughout until next week's asynchronous class. So you will explain the basic principles of behaviorism. Maybe you've heard about this, right? But we'll dig deeper on how are we going to apply the theory to the teaching practice. Make a simple plan applying the primary laws of learning. Maybe you've heard about these as well in your child and adolescent course, maybe in that course, and determine how to use rewards in the learning process more effectively. So let's have first a recall. So I gathered some of your outputs, and I am happy, right, with the very visual appealing of your outputs in terms of this infographic, right, that you made to summarize or synthesize the categories of exceptional learners. So I would like to ask some from your classmates, especially the ones who made these outputs that I have chosen. I have 2 slides, and then one, two, three, four. I have 5 outputs here. Okay. May I ask these people to share with us? did they consolidate all the contents, right, of this infographic? May I call Jevon, Sir Corteza? Are you here with us today? Corteza. Okay, I don't think he's here. Maybe we can have Paolo. How about Sir Paolo? Aduanas. Let me check. He's also not here. Okay, but these are their outputs. So categories of exceptional learners, they categorize them, okay, according to the behavior in this case, okay, specific cognitive, depending on really what the exceptionalities, right, the impairments, okay, this one focuses on the learning disabilities and impairments. How about for these three? By the way, there's I noticed that there's typographical error in this part. May I call Ma'am Almira? Are you here with us? Okay, please unmute. Okay, Ma'am Mira, would you like to share with us your very neat, organized, and comprehensive infographic here? You may unmute now. Mhm. Maybe what you're having a hard time connecting. You may just click unmute, ma'am. Or how about Sir Eduardo? Is also our way of recalling what we discussed last meeting, like 3 weeks ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Sir Eduardo, are you here? You may unmute if you're here. Mhm. I think the center infographic is yours, right? Anyone? Yeah, is that Sir B Boy? Is it? Are they the same persons? Ma'am Shannon? Yes. Okay. Thank you, love. You may unmute, Sir B Boy.
No, ma'am, ano, 'di ano, ma'am, yung sa'kin po iba po,
Oh, really? Not this one? I think I checked this one.
not po.
Okay, thank you. How about Ma'am Norlin? Ma'am Norlin, you may unmute. Okay, I think the green one belongs to you. Am I right? Please acknowledge. Yeah. Or anyone in the class who'd like to share how did they consolidate everything here on the infographic. Ma'am Jenny Babe, would you like to share? You may simply share with us the content of your infographic. You may unmute.
Infographic po, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm, hindi po ako gumawa niyan kasi ano po, under po ako ng correspondence.
Oh my. You are what's so consistent in terms of your attendance here. I appreciate you, Ma'am Jenny. Okay, I appreciate you being with us. You've also served as what? The secretary or president or PRO of the class every time the class is concerned. Thank you so much. Ma'am Norlin, you're ready to share? You may speak. Ma'am, you are unmuted now, so you may speak. So you put here basic categories of exceptional learners, right? And you chose the green template. You even included pictures here, right? That denotes the specific difficulty or at least the major category of the difficulty. We have giftedness, right? So cute. Sir Paulo, are you here? I think you just entered the class. You may unmute, Sir Paulo, so you can share your output here. Sir Pao? Anyone? How about Ma'am Love? Would you like to share, please? What can you remember from last meeting?
Ano po ma'am, yung about sa categories of exceptional learners po ba?
Yes, you may.
I got some information from the module given ahead of time. Then I searched some of it in the Google, so I have time to understand the categories of exceptional learners.
Okay, wow, that's great. Thank you for your initiative. Not everyone, right, takes initiative in when it comes to reading beforehand, searching beforehand, right? I mean, adding inputs. I'm sorry if you can hear what the barking of the dogs outside. Okay, so yeah, so you've learned about learning disabilities, right? Including disorders, ADHD, even learning these abilities or disorders like dyslexia, dyscalculia, and all these. And how, right, are we going to intervene and, act the way we ought to act in front of our students who have, special difficult disabilities. Okay, so let's start with a game. Okay, in this case, we will play the game Read My Lips. So you will focus on my lips. You have to be I will mute myself and you have to type in the chat as fast as you can the word I am saying. Okay, can you give me wow react if you're ready? Only one, two, three, four. How about the others? Okay. So keyboard warriors, I need you. Please type in the chat. Okay, ready? I will mute now. Wait a minute. Okay, ready? Not teachers. Another try. Not stitches, not interest, not distress. Okay, there's one. Congratulations, Mamira. Children. Correct. Wow, amazing. Okay, next word. Correct, Sir Jigger. Congrats, you got that right. It's teach. Very good. Okay, next. Next word. Not push, not poke. Not put, not mojo. Not fruit. Near module, near module. Not modular, not mode. Not food. I know you're hungry, but not food. Okay, near boost, near boost, near. Sounds like boost. Near boots, near boots. That's the near. Great, great. We have a winner, Sir Aaron. Okay, books. Great, great. It's so hard. Okay, next word. Not talk, not chicken joy. It's just Sir Aaron, you're near. Okay, we got a winner. Ma'am Lynn, correct. Dog. Great. Okay, next word. Near male sounds like, but it's the close. Near ball and pale. Near that. Near male. Not pal. Not pan. Near sounds like pale, but it's a different place. Okay, near veil. Near veil. Near. Bell. Okay, near bail and ball. Near that. Okay, that's a sound, Sir Nixon. Okay, but it's near bail. Near bail. You are near. Bail. You are near. Not ban and ban. Okay, we got a winner, Ma'am Jenny. Congratulations. Okay, that was hard. Okay, next. Next word. Near mouth. Okay, we have a winner, Sir Jigs. Congrats, it's mouse. Okay, correct. Next word we have. Ma'am Jenny, you're fast. Correct, baby. Great. Okay, next word. Correct. That's fast, Ma'am Love. Okay, easy peasy for you. Next word, ninth word. Okay, we have one. Sir B-Boy, correct. Practice. Last word. Okay, we have one more winner, Sir Jigs. Rewards or rewards. Correct. Congratulations. Can you give yourselves a clap reaction? Can you click that? Okay, that's hard, right? I mean, it's hard to really focus on my mouth and speak. And okay, you notice it's really important to exercise, right? To exercise really what? Okay, palaban. Okay. Sir Jig said, palaban yan? Okay. Congratulations, teachers. This is another what game you may employ in the future if we are still in this situation. But another way to do this in a face-to-face class, which we did before with my BSED or early childhood class. Remember the whisper challenge? It's the same as this, right? The whisper challenge where you need to just, turn up the volume and then use earphones or headphones. So you may also do it in a face to face. So let's start with okay. talking about focus on learning behaviorism and neo-behaviorism. But before we dig deeper into this, can someone analyze, I mean, at least the words that we had in the game, or at least why did they ask you to read my lips? What, any idea from the topic? I mean, from our title today. Mm-hmm. Anyone? How about Ma'am Jenny? Given that you're able to guess so many words.
I think those words are affiliated with our discussion today.
Mm, correct.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Those words are definitely what will be encountered by all of you. Right? Later we have children, baby, teach, right? Bell and the dog, and later on you'll find out, or maybe you're already familiar with the bell and the dog, right? Or see, so that's right. So I think this will just be a recall, right, of what you learned before. Okay, so thank you, Ma'am Jenny. So for the content outline, we'll talk about Ivan Pavlov's classical conditioning. It's the stimulus response theory and Edward Thorndike's laws of learning. John B. Watson's experimental approach to classical conditioning, B.F. Skinner, operant conditioning. These four are for behaviorism. While for neo-behaviorism, we have Edward Tolman's purposive learning for purposive behavior, and Albert Bandura's social learning theory. May I ask if we already had the Albert Bandura social learning theory before? Right? I let you watch the video, so later I still attach the video there, but we can skip that later. Okay? Can someone tell me in the chat what or among these, right? I mean, learning theories, laws of learning, and conditioning, right? Which among are already familiar to you? Can you type in the chat? Or which one is your favorite? Maybe you have a favorite uh, um, theory here or law, right? Or a conditioning that you really would like to apply in the future. I think we had all these before, right? So this will just be not really reiteration, but we will dig deeper on the implications of these theories and laws in learning. Okay. So no one type anything in the chat. So okay. So behaviorism talks about building connections, right, between stimuli and responses, task analysis, and reinforcement. So in this case, right, this is relevant to course design as well, instruction and assessment. And behaviorism is a perspective which accepts that a student is basically aloof or passive. Why? Because your stimulus will be the one to trigger the response of the student. So you are only reacting to a natural stimuli. So for example, right, I can use, or we can use the game that we had, read my lips. So your stimulus, okay, was my lips, right? You tend to what, at least understand, right, what am I saying here, even though you can't hear me, but just by looking at it. So that's a, you know, a sense of sight stimuli, right? And your response was the answer is in the chat. Okay. So another, yeah, Ivan Pavlov's classical conditioning is a learning process that occurs through associations between an environmental stimulus and a naturally occurring stimulus. So among you can recall about Ivan Pavlov's classical conditioning. Do you remember the dog and the bell? Mm-hmm. Okay. Would you like to share, Ma'am Shannon?
Parang ang pinapakita lang po nun is yung kapagka yung dog is parang meron siyang parang model para sumunod. Parang yun po yung nagti-trigger sa kanya na after that training, kapag ginawa mo ulit po yun sa kanya is susundin ka na po niya without any hesitations po.
Okay, yeah, correct. So anything, so for instance, you have a pet, and instead of using this kind of doing this kind of experiment for meat, you will just use what the dog food, right? To give the dog as treats to do something, and without that, nothing can trigger it, right? Nothing can trigger the dog. So Behaviorism is based on the assumption that all learning occurs through interactions with the environment. So you can't simply create your own behavior without being affected by external factors. So, for instance, just by looking at your responses earlier when I asked you how are you feeling today, so that those are actually your behavior at the moment, right? And there are factors, some factors that I may not know, right, that actually trigger you or affect you to feel happy, to feel excited, to feel okay, just okay, to feel stressed, to feel tired, and so on. So you are also reacting to the stimuli present in environment, and this environment shapes your behavior, whether positively or negatively. And just like what Ma'am Shannon said earlier, yeah, it's about this dog. Did we have this last time? Can you give me like react? Yes, right. So we've also explained the three, right? The three phases or basic phases of this process: the before conditioning, during conditioning, after Did they also ask you about your what I mean behavior before that can be associated with this conditioning? Can you give me like react if you already have this? Or haha react if we haven't? Okay, like say. Thank you, ma'am. So just to reiterate and emphasize the points, right? Before conditioning, so the first part of the classical conditioning that requires a naturally occurring stimulus that will automatically elicit a response. So for example, it's the ring of the bell. In this case, it's the whistle, right? So no responsive because nothing triggers, right? In this case, it's unconditional response. So anything, even with humans, I don't know if you are the kind of human that when you see Indian mango, right, you tend to have that feeling of salivating, right? We're not dogs, but we tend to salivate. Who among you can you give me haha react if you are like that? Because I was like that. I am still. Okay, so I don't know, but there is something about Indian mango that makes me want to salivate or makes me want to eat Indian mango right away. Is it just me? No haha react from you? Okay. I can really say that I have that dog instinct. I don't know, but my mom told me pinaglihi daw ako sa aso. So maybe that's the reason. And I also have very good sense of, my olfactory sense or my sense of smell. So my sense of smell is so strong that I can smell what something that's very far or at least just before arriving near me. So I already, so it's just me. How is that possible? I don't believe you. No hair act from me, really. Really, I'm the only one who does that. Or how about you? What makes you start to salivate? Any sour food or candy? How about, it's just me. Sir Jigger, is there something that triggers your sense of taste? Go, Sir Jigger. Is there? I mean, do we have the same triggering stimulus like that of an Indian mango?
I don't think I have hope.
Oh, really? Or any craving that sometimes you you felt like you were tasting it. That's why suddenly you feel like, oh, I'm craving for this. No, you don't have that.
I just crave for rice.
Okay, I couldn't agree more to that. I think everybody craves for that. Thank you, Sir Jigger. Okay, Ma'am Jenny said sour foods such as cracklings po. Yeah, right? Imagine just the smell of cracklings, right? Imagine that. At first, if you're not the one eating, you'll feel like, ew, you don't like the smell. But if you're the one eating, oh, it's heaven for you. Okay, so for you, it's cracklings. How about the others? Okay, so yeah, that can trigger you naturally, right? Without this conditioning. It automatically triggers you. Okay? Or any ube. Wow, okay. I am tasting that. It can be ube cake or the ube halaya. Really smell of Jollibee burger. Yeah, yum burger. Right, mga pantawid gutom. Okay, santol. See, I told you. I think that's a natural, right? I mean, yeah, response also from our sense of, I mean, gustatory sense. So during conditioning, now, right, we associate it with something else that can also trigger that. Okay, and after conditioning, okay, it happens when, okay, you already have your conditioned stimulus that even there is no specific food, for instance, like this meat or dog food that can trigger you just by associating it with the whistling or the whistle or the bell, right? You start to salivate. Okay, so in the before conditioning phase, an unconditioned stimulus is paired with unconditioned response. A neutral stimulus is then introduced. While during conditioning phase, it involves pairing a neutral stimulus with an unconditioned stimulus. Eventually, the neutral stimulus becomes the conditioned stimulus. So from conditioned to unconditioned stimulus, and from conditioned to unconditioned response to conditioned response. So for the after conditioning phase, the conditioned stimulus alone triggers the conditioned response. Okay, let's talk about classical conditioning in the classroom. This is, I think, just a review, right, of what we had last time. So the ramifications of classical conditioning in the classroom are less significant than those of operant conditioning. Okay, why? Because this refers to, reinforcement. Yeah, do you still remember that when I mentioned about reinforcement versus punishment and positive and negative reinforcement as well as positive and negative punishment? Can you give me like react if I made that clear before? Or you still have what concerns? Thank you, Ma'am Jenny. Okay, and all right, and on the off chance that a learner will partner negative, passionate encounters with school, and at that point, this can clearly have awful outcomes. For example, making a school fear or frightful towards the student. So for instance, right, if a student is harassed at school, they may figure out how to connect the school with fear. So it's not always about the teacher factor that students don't like to attend the class or with the problem of irregular attendance, but there are so many factors like the ambience or the classmates, right, or teasing or calling him names. That can be a reason. Okay, so talking about Edward Lee Thorndike's connectionism, we also had this before. Right? He was an influential psychologist who is often referred to as the founder of modern educational psychology. He was also perhaps best known for his famous puzzle box experiments with cats. Right? And Thorndike's principle suggests that responses immediately followed by satisfaction will be more likely to recur. If you can recall about law of, what do you call this? Can you type in the chat? What is that law? That
Law of act and practice po. Repetition.
uh
Practice.
no, the law that suggests the behaviors followed by dissatisfaction or satisfaction can create what discomfort or vice versa. When something is given to you and that gives you, long lasting feeling or satisfaction feeling. That's law of.
Effects.
Correct. Very good, ma'am. Okay, law of effect, right? It's often okay, that is right. Okay. Have I also let you watch this? Not yet. So let's just have this summary of behaviorism. It's a case or pal.
Edward Thorndike is the father of modern educational psychology and founder of behavioral psychology. So, two special positions for this psychologist who worked for education in terms of student behaviors. Why do students, individuals, young children behave in whatever manner they behave in? Like most psychological studies, you cannot do work on human beings directly.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings cannot be used as guinea pigs to learn about how human beings behave or why they do certain things. And so, Thorndike also started his research with animals, rats. And what he did was he provided a stimulus and saw how the rats behave. That is classical conditioning. So a particular stimulus led to a particular response. If the stimulus provided food or water, it continued to happen because obviously the animal was hungry and thirsty and needed food and water. If the stimulus was negative, for example, the animal got a mild electric shock, the animal wasn't interested in doing the same behavior again and again. And so you learn to avoid inappropriate behaviors and you learn to promote the appropriate behaviors. And that is the connection that the rats made, the animals that Thorndike worked with made. And that philosophy got transferred into the classroom. If animals can learn to copy, to continue, to go on and do appropriate behaviors long term and not indulge in or not do inappropriate behaviors long term, students can also do it. The key is, do the students see the connection between appropriate behavior that could lead to a reward or an inappropriate behavior that could lead to punishment? Once that connection is seen, students will, individuals will, young people will learn to behave in appropriate ways. So learning from animals transformed classrooms, moved into classrooms, and we've seen today now that students change behaviors when teachers appropriately use the system of connection, making the young child understand why this is being rewarded and why that is not being rewarded. In 1928, Thorndike conducted his first major study with adults. After working for years with animals, replicating, duplicating his experiments and studies, making sure that nothing was going to go wrong once he moved from animals to human beings. Because when you work with human beings, you really want 0% error. You don't want human beings getting too bad or dying or negativities happening, because then no human being is going to volunteer for experimental purposes. So it took Thorndike years of study and work on animals before he conducted his first major study with human adults in 1928. So what is Edward Thorndike's connectionism? It is defined as learning a connection or association of an increasing number of habits. Yes, once you see the connection between one thing and two things and three things, the connection should expand. It should grow. And as connections grow, because that is how human beings survive in society, connections have to grow. But the important thing is for people to understand how these connections are associated, what they contribute for the individual and for others. So more complicated associations means higher levels of understanding. When connections go beyond just one straight linear parameter, when they go off in different directions, in different angles, then higher order thinking and higher order learning is happening. What Edward Thorndike finally did was he based his work, he looked at his work, he understood his work clearly, and then gave 3 laws of learning. We will look at the 3 laws.
Okay, we'll look at the three laws. Okay. So we have law of readiness, law of exercise, and law of effect. Do we have all these before? Can you give me heart react if we had this? Or are you familiar with the 3 laws of learning? Okay, great. How about, so let me call. Right, so instead of me talking here, Sir Nixon, would you like to share your insights about law of readiness? You may unmute, sir.
Ma'am, I forgot the 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 definition, but it's familiar because it
Okay.
is it has been discussed last meeting.
Yeah. So at least the application of it. Do you still remember? How do you apply this in the classroom? Because we need to focus more on its implication.
Maybe when ano when the teacher is when the teacher asks for a quiz, then you will study at night, and then the other day the quiz will happen. Yan, will occur.
Okay, so I think that's your law of review. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, love your preparation, right? I think you're referring to your preparation for the exam. And if you're not ready, of course, you will not be able to answer anything on the exam if you did not ready yourself. But how about in terms of the teacher, right, preparing her students? Just by looking at the way the usual routine that we have, our preliminary activities before we dig deeper into the lesson. I hope you notice that we always try our best to prepare you, right? Through asking you, how are you doing? How are you feeling today with all the games and all, right? But of course, that doesn't necessarily give us the certainty, right, about the long-term retention of the students. Because again, we are easily distracted by many factors, especially if you are not focused on this class or doing something else. And yeah, definitely it's about split attention. Okay, so in this case, you need to understand that this is again a preparatory set on the part of the organism to learn that students need to prepare, or teachers need to prepare students before giving them a certain task, or else, right, they will feel tired, they will be annoyed. Ma, why are we doing this? We're still we're still in the vacation mode, right, mood. So, or you are still in the bedwetter mood because of the 3 week academic break, right? Ma'am, why are we having all these? Right? So in that case, let's help one another, right? To prepare ourselves. So this also means that you can learn when you are physically and mentally adjusted, or ready to receive the stimuli. If not, well, there can be many factors. So for instance, every time I ask you, did we discuss this? Have we discussed this last time? And then not all of you will give me heart reacts or like reacts, and that's understandable, right? Maybe some of you are still just like what who said lutang earlier. So maybe we have those days, we have those moments as well. Okay, so yeah, this also means your desire to do a job. Okay, if you are really motivated, you have that desire to finish the infographic or assessment that you had for the previous asynchronous class, right? Since you prepare yourself, you did not just simply sit there and then do everything all at once. No, right? So may I ask for your experience and adjustment, or at least the process of accomplishing the the extended activities during the academic break? May I ask for someone? Is there someone who did everything right away all at once, or are you the one who take, or yeah, I mean, accomplish each assessment, right? I mean, bit by bit, or day by day, or this week per week, like that. May I may I hear from you, Ma'am Lynn?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
During the academic break,
Mm-hmm.
I have my timeline of activity so I can do it bit by bit since I day or day one activity per day
Mm-hmm.
since I still need to gain more sleep because of last month's um lack of sleep since we're working on our research.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I need some rest, and academic break helps me for that so I can accomplish the um, asynchronous activities we had.
Okay, that's good news. Is that your thesis writing course?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Have
ma'am.
I shared with you something that can help you with the APA citation? I will type in the chat the website that can help you cite easily. You're aware of that website? Scriber? Okay, great. So you may utilize that, right, for easy access of your reference. Everything will just be saved there as well for your citation. Okay, that may help you. Also, if you need more articles and what's that? It's BB dash. Let me check. I have possible source again aside from pdfdrive.com. I learned about this like last week or 2 weeks ago. It's also a website where you can download your books or journal articles. Okay, it's b dash ok dot cc. Okay, b ok dot cc. Yeah, so you may also check that out. However, for the second website that I shared, you are only limited to 10 downloads per day, or I mean per 24 hours. So yeah, maximize your downloads there. Okay, so another website where you can download books for your literature. Why? What chapter are you now? Okay, let me also check that out. Okay, and I suggest, have I told you to use? Okay, sorry, I'm giving you more. Well, this can still be related to the law of readiness because I'm preparing you for your thesis writing. What chapter are you now? Are you also applying this in your Microsoft Word? Yeah, so instead of saving, are you aware of or are you using track changes feature of Microsoft Word? So instead of simply saving a new file, from time to time save as new file, final na to, promise, final na to, sana final na to, right? So instead of doing that, you may click track changes there. Okay, and all markup, select all markup, so you will see all the changes that you've applied. And if you need to print it and you don't want to see the revisions and the changes or comments, you may simply select no markup and then close the track changes feature. So can you give me heart react for the things I've shared with you? I hope they're helpful. Okay, I hope they can prepare you more. May I ask again, what chapter are you now? If there's something I can help you with, okay, I am very willing as long as I have enough time. Okay, at least to have, well, I'm not your advisor, but maybe I can give you some tips, right, in relevance to that. Okay, what chapter are you now? Chapter 2?
Opo.
Okay, see, right? So these websites will really help you. How about Sci-Hub? Familiar with Sci-Hub? Okay. So for Sci-Hub, that will allow you, okay, I'm giving you this here, that will allow you to open, right, or to access the full article just using the DOI. You need to get the DOI number, okay, and just copy paste it to Sci-Hub and so on. So you are in chapter 1. I always suggest, because I also teach research to senior high school once in college, in a campus, and uh, in I always ask them to do chapter 2 first before they do chapter 1, because okay, with the help of chapter 2, that's the only way you can, right? You can input so many things to your chapter 1. So that's my tip. Okay, read RLS first before designing your chapter 1. So going back, right? So even in research, there is a lot of readiness that you apply, right? You don't simply, again, sit there in front of all the journal articles, journal websites online, but you need to prepare your mind. It's so important that you prepare yourself mentally, right? In terms of research, you also need to prepare yourself emotionally. Why? You need to understand that you're doing research not for the sake of the thesis writing course, not for the sake of, right, of passing the course or graduating, because people say no one graduates without theses, or well, some people, just graduated. They're able to graduate because of what, contributing, right? Money for merienda, pancit canton, and so on, or pampa print, like that. But it's more than that. I mean, you need to change your mindset that this research should be done from your desire, right? From your desire or interest to help right? The improvement of any problem in education, especially relevant to mathematics. Okay, so as we proceed, next law is law of exercise. Anyone who can remember how do we apply law of exercise in the class? Or I remember your sharing last time, right? The drills and practices in mathematics, right? Answering so many math problems. Yes, that applies law of exercise. Okay. Have I also let you watch the short film? Uh, remember the short film, The Howl and the Pussycat? Did I let you watch that? Aaron Lumibaw, the contest, declamation, yes or no?
No po.
Okay, so I will let you watch it.
But we have some LM.
Again. Have you watched this one? This
Yes.
is okay. So, oops, sorry.
As you all know, aside from the intramurals and the quiz bee, we will have to participate in the declamation contest. And for the grade 2 level, the assigned piece is Edward Lear's The Owl and the Pussycat. Class, kailangan nating manalo dito. We need someone to represent our homeroom. Any volunteers, class? Any volunteers? Any other volunteers?
Mom! Me! Me, Mom!
Okay, Aaron Lumibaw, you will represent our section in the declamation contest. Good luck to us. I mean to you.
Kaya mo ba talagang i-memorize yan? Yung haba-haba niyan eh. Sus, para ito lang eh. Ang sharp-sharp kaya ng memory ko. Parang kasing haba lang to ng I believe in God.
Anak, kailan ba yung pa-contest na yan? Sabihin mo sa akin ha, na makapag-absent ako sa office.
Next week po.
Ah, ganun ba? O narinig mo yun, Alexi ha? Pupuntahan natin ang little brother mo, panonoorin natin, ha?
Mom, that's kid stuff. Kayo na lang.
Ay naku, hindi pwedeng ganyan. Kailangan nating pumunta doon para ma-video mo siya at nang mapanood naman ang tatay mo. Hindi ba, Dad?
Oo nga naman. Anak, i-upload mo naman sa YouTube para mapanood ko. Baby boy, galingan mo ha.
O sige na, inumin mo na yung gatas mo. Nang lalo kang gumaling. Huwag kang maglala, iko-coach kita.
Good luck, anak.
Thanks, Daddy. I will make all of you proud. Memorize ko na! Gusto yung marinig?
O sige, anak.
The Howl in the Pussycat. The Howl in the Pussycat went to sea in a beautiful fragrant boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The Howl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar.
Anak, may gusto sana akong itanong sa'yo eh.
Ano po yun, Ma'am?
Talaga bang gusto mong sumali sa declamation contest?
Bakit po? Hindi po ba ako magaling?
Ay, naku, hindi anak. Magaling ka. Ang galing-galing mo nga eh. Ang sa akin lang naman, baka gusto mong sumali na lang sa intrams.
Kulang po ako sa height.
Sa Songfest.
Sintonado ako.
So yun talaga ang gusto mo.
Ma'am, buong buhay ko, pangarap ko nang sumali sa declamation. Nung nursery na twinkle-twinkle pa lang ang contest piece, gustong-gusto ko nang sumabak. Nahihiya lang ako. Ngayong grade 2 na ako, alam ko na kaya ko na.
O sige anak, kung yan talaga ang gusto mo, hayaan mo, tutulungan kita. Alexi? Anak?
Bakit, Ma'am?
Kailangan natin ng rest back. Kailangan natin ng speech coach.
Siya na yan.
Asa ba?
Hello po. Hi. Mommy, si Chelsea. Dati siyang co-work ng sister ng classmate ko.
Chelsea, speech coach ka ba?
Ay, Mom. Call center agent siya.
Baka naman matutulungan mong anak ko.
Sure, why not? Anytime.
Sorry.
Well?
Pagkatapos mong matulog siguro. Kailangan din natin ng acting coach. May kilala ka ba?
Sa bawat tayo ng puso, pagkasang ito ay mapagbigyan. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, back to play, guys.
Chester!
Uy, Alexi!
Hello, Chester. Mom ko nga pala.
Ay, ako.
Mom, siya yung sinasabi ko sa'yo makakatulong sa atin.
Ang galing-galing nyo. Professional na professional ang dating.
Hindi naman.
Mom, magaling umarte yan.
Anong role mo dito?
Taong bayan.
Taong bayan.
Taong bayan 46.
Big time. At anong isusuot ng kapatid mo? Kailangan ba natin ng fashion designer?
Costume? Bakit? Mag-aartista na ba ang anak mo?
Ay, naku, hindi po. May sasalihan pong contest.
Sa TV?
Ay, hindi po. Sa school lang po.
O sige. Dalhin mo dito at nang masukatan.
Ay, salamat ho.
The Howl in the Pussycat.
Aaron, remember what I told you? Chin up!
Ang ganda. Gusto mo ba, anak?
Opo, yun
Mura
po.
lang ang period nito sa Divisoria.
And work on your clarity. Drop your R's and your T's. You know what I'm saying?
Silhouette is the key, okay? Extend your hands, okay? Come on, pose. Okay, fluidity is the key. Do it!
The Howl in the Pussycat. When to see...
Aaron! Project! I need you to project!
Anak, gusto mo ba ito? O ito? Naku, hindi naman siya nasareno.
What a beautiful foos you are.
Beautiful again.
What a beautiful foos you are. Puh, 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 puh.
Pussy, pussy, pussy.
Pussy,
Pussy.
pussy, pussy. They took some honey and plenty of money, wrapped up in a 5-pound note.
Okay, from the top.
What a beautiful pussy you are. Pussy.
Ow!
Ow.
Ow!
Ow.
Pussycat.
Pussycat. Pussycat. Pussycat.
Our next contestant from grade 2 Apitong. May we call on Aaron Lumibaw.
The Owl and the Pussycat. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pig green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money, wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar. Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are. You are, you are. What a beautiful pussy you are.
And now, from grade 2 Nara, let's all welcome the 3-time defending declamation champion, Mateo Echeverria!
The owl and the pussycat. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pig green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money, wrapped up in a 5-pound note.
And now for the winners of the declamation contest, grade 2 level.
Handa mo ang camera, ha? Picturean mo, magsasabit ako ng medal. May lipstick pa ba ako? Oo, meron.
For the grand winner of the grade 2 declamation contest, the second prize goes to grade 2 Apitong Aaron Lumibaw. That means our declamation champion is grade 2 Nara Mateo Echeverria.
Salamat po. Congratulations, anak. Nanalo ka. Picture tayo. Anak, smile naman. Ang galing-galing mo, anak. Anak, halika dali. Inumin mo na tong gatas mo kung ayaw mong kumain.
Bakit pa?
Eh di para lumakas ka. Di ba ito ang secret weapon natin?
Hindi naman ako nanalo eh. Nakakaya.
Di ba second prize ka? Panalo na rin yun, anak.
Wala naman akong medal.
Bukas ibibili kita ng medal. O ilang medal ba ang gusto mo?
Si ma'am naman ay nagpapatawa pa.
Halika na, anak. Sige na, inumin mo na to. Halika na. Ayan. Hindi naman pwedeng natalo ka lang eh, give up ka na. First time pa lang naman yun eh. Ang mahalaga, you did your best. Yun ang mahalaga. We did our best.
Proud ka pa rin ba sa akin?
Of course, anak.
Kasi na ate at daddy.
Proud na proud. Ang dami mo nang hit sa YouTube eh. In-upload na ng ate mo.
Talaga?
Di bali anak, sa susunod, sasali tayo ulit. At mas kakaririn pa natin. Sige na.
Love you, Mommy.
I love you too, anak. Anak, pwede bang mag-request?
Ano po yun?
Pwede sa susunod. Sa linggo ng wika ka naman sumali.
At ang isang tao'y katulad, kabagay ng alinman likha noong kalayaan. Ang hindi magmahal sa kanyang salita, mahigit pa sa hayop at malansang isda!
Okay, I can see you've enjoyed the short film so much. I can see the three ladies up here, Ma'am Love, Ma'am Jenny, and Ma'am Shannon laughing. Right, thank you for the heart, Sir Ed. Okay, I would challenge you to analyze the short film. Okay, aside from, of course, it became the source of entertainment this afternoon, but I would like you to analyze the three laws of learning that can be or cannot be, right, observed in the short film. Can you type in the chat or raise a hand, right, or volunteer to assess the three laws of learning? Anyone? Okay, if you're shy, you may type your insights or takeaway in the chat. If you're brave, okay, please unmute so you can share with the class. Or I think I should call. Okay, give me number, Ma'am Lovely. 1 to 5.
3 po.
3. Thank you. Start from the last. 1, 2, 3. Ma'am Mira, are you there? Ma'am Almira? Okay. If you're there, you may unmute. Okay. I would like to ask you to analyze the short film. If you can observe the three laws of learning or not. Okay. How do you think these laws of learning are applied to the short film? Actually, I've been using the short film in other short films. Okay, I think I just have them in my IM bank or my short film bank to be used in different different topics and discussion, and it depends on what angle or what side of the angle or the lens you are looking at. Okay, how about Sir Mav? Can you unmute? Sir Maverick Perez? Are you there? Okay, just continue typing if you're already typing in the chat while I'm calling Sir Jakes, or at least one if you don't like to echo, right, all the observations for the three laws. At least one law that you can observe from the short film.
Hello po, ma'am.
Hello.
Yung ano po, siguro po yung law of exercise.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
When ano nga po pangalan ng bata? Ay,
Aaron Lumibaw.
si Aaron po, nung continuous niya pong pina-practice yung pagbigkas ng mga words in
Mhm.
English. I think that is part of law of exercises.
Yeah, exactly. Right? The way to pronounce pussy, money, honey, right? All those maybe the latter part you thought that he will not be able to make it, right? But he was able to nail the contest. However, sadly, right? Okay, we can look at the different angle as well. Even regardless of the law, you can also realize that yeah, after all the exercises, still, what happened? Are you happy with the result of the contest, Sir Paolo? Are you happy with the result? Do you think, right? Aaron deserves to win. Mhm. How about Sir Aaron? Right? You also realize what the support system was so strong from the family, right, to the coaches. Okay, you notice that the support system. Yes, Sir Aaron.
Pardon, ma'am?
Yeah, what have you noticed in relation to
The
the three laws of learning, aside from the law of exercise given by Sir Jakes?
um I forgot. I have forgotten, ma'am, the last one.
What the short film? I'm talking about the short film. Were you able to watch?
Yes, ma'am, but I have forgotten the loss, ma'am.
Ah, okay. So law of learning, law of effect, law of readiness.
Law
Okay,
of effects po, ma'am.
okay, law of effect. So on what
When
part of the short film?
when Aaron failed the contest, ma'am,
Mm,
he the effect might have given him the um more to be more determined to become a greater what do you call that? Yung mas magaling mo magtula, ma'am.
yeah, okay, correct, right? Well, you can see a domino effect, right, of two different actions and two different responses from Aaron. So just like what you said, correct. I sorry. Yeah, you have the same name, your Aaron. So I'm talking about Aaron Lumibaw. So you're right. Okay. You're right when you said that the effect of losing the contest at some point at the beginning, right? At the beginning of receiving the second place, he at first he felt so sad about it, right? He felt that he's not good enough, right, for that. But you can also say that he deserves to win in terms of the idea of the contest because it's declamation, so it's all about enunciating everything with confidence, right? However, well, it's noticeable that Aaron Lumiba lacks what? The I am. If you're the teacher, you lack the I am. You have the content, but the I am is needed as well, right? So the props are really, thrown out by Mateo Echeverria. So another effect, okay, that creates satisfaction was the stimulus that come from what the mom, right? Because the parent also encourages Aaron. No, it's okay, right? You're still winner for us, right? You have so many hits on YouTube, and you may also join another or different contest, right? Or maybe a similar contest using different language next time. So even that stimulus triggers a satisfactory, a pleasing effect on the child. So allow me to read from Amira. She said, law of readiness applied when the child first present the performance to his family, and his family notices that there's a lot of things to improve, and as a support, they find they find people. Yeah, they look for people, correct, to help him before the day of the contest, correct. Yeah, that's preparation. That's law of readiness. But the mere fact that, okay, the mere fact or the very first moment, I hope you don't miss that part, right? When teacher asked for volunteers, right? Aaron Umibaw, right, raised his hand confidently. There is readiness on that part, right? He's interested. He is ready for it, even though, right, he needs practice, right? Imagine the, even the organization. I mean, the logical uh, ideas of the law, right, that is applied by Aaron. So law of readiness, the desire was there first, right? He's physically, right, and mentally, maybe not mentally ready, but at least emotionally ready, right, for that. And then what happens next? Law of exercise, right? He exercised, he practiced pronouncing everything, even, with the actions are executed well, and then there's effect. Wow, imagine, right? Imagine how we unlock all these. So allow me to read from, okay, it's okay, ma'am. You're outside. Ma'am Love said that the laws are observed in the video, and it evidently shows improvement with the law of readiness. Okay, may he has what's this? He lacked preparedness when he volunteered to participate, but the law. Okay, so you are looking at a different side now, which I can also consider. It depends on what angle, right, we're looking at. So maybe you also see that part in terms of a bigger picture of being ready, right? I think you're looking at that part. Okay, with all the persons who help him and practice with him were there, and he improved big time with the declamation. And lastly is with the law of effect, with the support, right? With the support that he receives from his family and the effect that he came up with second place. Correct. Yeah. That one was to be better and was to be able to be more courageous and try other events, right? Or contests. Correct. Right? Imagine how this material can really be use, right, to show and demonstrate these laws in practical situations. So again, it depends on how big the picture you're looking at in terms of different laws, but certainly these are all present in the short film, right, in as a usual scenario in terms of, a student. May I challenge you as well to think, right, of certain something like that, but you may, just give us a quick summary or a scenario where we can apply logically, right, because this can be applied logically, right? Law of readiness, law of exercise, and then law of effect. Anyone who'd like to, also challenge himself or herself in terms of this? Thank you, congrats, ma'am. Okay, ma'am Love, for that comprehensive analysis. I appreciated that. How about the others? Allow me to call. Okay, I think I can call you. Okay, Sir Edward.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ano po yung ay ano po yung specific question?
Okay, I mean, just like how we analyze the short film, okay,
Yes,
in
ma'am.
terms of the logical arrangement of law of readiness, law of exercise, and effect. Can you think of, a relevant scenario? Not really the same, right, of what happened in the short film, but in your case, I mean, in a normal scenario in a classroom.
I think ma'am I will going to use the scenario of solving
Mm-hmm.
problem in
Okay,
mathematics.
let's start with law of readiness.
Pwede ma'am law of effect.
Okay, it's up to you. Okay, it's fine.
Sige, okay. Yung about ma'am in law of effect. So I know that I I can fully understand what my teachers teach about mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
So about my failure, I'm going to step up on the next stage where I'm going to strengthen my ability and capability in doing or solving such problem, and I'm going to apply or maximize my my learning skill,
Mm-hmm.
and consider the consider what I should learn in the
Mm-hmm.
lesson, then for the better understanding of solving. Ayun.
Okay, yeah, that's great. How about in the same scenario? Can you add, different stimulus and response that can actually bring us to law of exercise and readiness? Since you already gave one for law of effect.
As for the readiness, I think ma'am I should learn in advance
Mm,
to I should learn in advance to cope up some ano challenges that I'm going to face when my teacher going to teach it.
correct. That is mental preparation, right, for you. Because again, you can't force yourself, right, to learn something which you are not interested in. Thank you, sir. Ed. Okay, next. How about a different teacher? Let me call. Celine. Is this Celine? Ma'am Celine.
Hello po, ma'am.
Hello. Okay. Can you also think?
Ma'am, sa room po, ma'am, room scenario po.
Mm-hmm.
Yung tatlong law po, ma'am,
Wow.
na-apply po siya sa like no, sa law of readiness, may mga past lesson tayo
Mm-hmm.
before certain lesson. So, doon, bago pumasok sa isang lesson, the teacher will, muna, ma'am,
Rick.
like,
Mhm.
opo, la, like, kunyari example po, ang topic is conic section. I-introduce niya muna po yung conic section before dumako po sa mga type ng conic section.
Mhm.
Sa introduction, dun pa lang po magkakaroon ng law of, ma-apply yung law of readiness na before you tackle the certain conic section, dapat may introduce muna kung ano yung mga different types and definition ng conic section. Then yung sa law of exercise po, throughout the discussion, the teachers will give exercise to the students so that mas matututo sila kung ano po yung lesson. And then dun po sa law of effects, siguro po kung maibibigay ng teacher yung ay nasa student po pala kung paano po nila i-observe po yung mga lesson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it depends, right? Because it can be intrinsically motivated or extrinsically motivated. So it can be external factors like rewards, right, or even verbal feedback coming from the teacher that can encourage them, right? Or intrinsically motivated. So the effect of being so studious, for instance, or having the desire to really study a certain topic. In your case, mathematics, the one you mentioned earlier. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, is that mathematics topic?
Yes po, ma'am.
Great, great, because it's a different jargon. So thank you, ma'am Celine. Okay, so
Yes
see,
po.
everything is evident, right? It's just a matter of you practicing all these laws and thinking of other things on how to achieve this. So there are also, okay, Thorndike's subordinate laws under the three laws. So he talked about law of multiple response, right? In this case, Thorndike's law of multiple response states that when one response does not bring satisfaction, it will initiate a new response, right? So it can be on a positive response or negative response. So for that reason, right? For example, the animal goes and producing responses until some response brings satisfaction. So earlier we can also use the conditioning earlier, right, with the dog and the bell. So if the bell or the meat does not satisfy the dog, maybe the bell can, or vice versa, right? So another is, yeah, the law of set or attitude. In this case, learning of your students is molded or guided by the disposition or set of the individual, which decides that, okay, what the individual will do. However, what will fulfill or bother the individual. In this case, the learner performs the task well if he has his attitude set in the task. So as you notice, it's somehow what overlapping or interconnected to law of readiness. So if you have a positive mindset or attitude towards doing your homework because you like to excel, you like to learn things, right? Well, definitely, you can create that. You can start, right, and accomplish it with excellence. But if you have negative attitude towards it, like you feel tired about it just by looking at it, just by looking at the Google classwork, right? Sometimes you feel tired, or you feel, what I mean, discouraged, for instance, because you feel like it's hard. Okay, so that can also create a different response. Another is prepotency of elements. So these prepotent components or elements are available in the issues. So for instance, the individual or student gets more prominent achievement, and if the individual puts together his or her reaction with these components, and this relies upon the understanding and capacity of the individual, these elements are present in the problem as well. So the person or learner gets greater success if he or she bases his or her responses on these elements, and this depends on the insight and capability of the person. For example, you right, for example, you're good at something. For instance, you experience to write not really perfect, but almost perfect business letter, right? So, for instance, you are the representative of the class, and then you write a letter, and then you learn how to properly write a letter, and then your teacher commended you, right? So the feeling, right, of success, right, the feeling of achievement became, relevant to other tasks, and that's the reason that that achievement from previous activity, right, is being brought to the new activity. That's why you can say, "Oh, I think I've done this before excellently, so I think I can do it again excellently this time." So, have you had that kind of at least breakthrough in your life where you were asked to do this activity, or anything, right? Any activity that you do for the first time, and you thought you can't do it, but you did it excellently, and then the effect of that was brought to the same activities. In my case, okay, let's be practical. For instance, in my case, I've been, serving as the master of ceremonies for many events in the college or PUP as a whole. And then still, I can say that from time to time, I still get nervous at the beginning. And of course, I need to prepare my spiel, right? Because it's a formal event and so on. But then the feeling, right? The feeling of achievement, the sense of achievement from previous activity can be brought. I usually bring them, right, to build that enough confidence for me to excel on the same activity the following event. Do you have that experience, Ma'am Shannon?
Meron din po.
Okay, can you share?
I think, ma'am, uh, just the same po dun sa experience nyo.
Mhm.
I was once asked to MC a big event before in my high school. And then,
Mhm.
nakaka-proud lang po kasi first time, and then ang laki ng event, and then
Mhm.
nag-excel po kami sa ginawa. Hindi lang naman po ako isa, pero masasabi ko na parang tama yung ginawa ko kasi first time kong ginawa yan, tapos walang gaanong guide from our profs kasi mas busy din po sila sa ginagawa nila. So parang biggest achievement po yun sa akin.
Yeah, and then did you bring that sense of achievement and, accomplishment or fulfillment to the next same activity that you did?
Yes po, ma'am.
You did? Mhm.
Ang laki ng impact po, parang ganun.
Right? Especially if you receive both constructive, right? And commentary or feedback from the people who believe in you, right? Imagine the effect of that. It's really important. We kept on discussing that before, right? The importance of feedback. Okay, so there's also law of response by analogy or assimilation. So the organism here, or a student, for instance, makes responses by comparison or analogy and assimilation. So when learner finds the similarities and dissimilarities in the lesson with daily experiences, he learns better. Hence, teaching must be correlated with life experiences. That's why from time to time, if you notice, I always ask, how about your experience about this? Did you have the similar experience? Or do you have, just like what I asked earlier, similar breakthrough relevant to this activity? So again, from time to time, challenge yourself. I know it's a challenge, right, for math teachers to always apply concepts to real life experiences, but that is where, right, you encourage your students to get interested, right, in mathematics. So I challenge you. Still, that's a challenge. Okay. Another is a law of associative shifting. So in this case, right, the reaction of the individual or the student shifts regarding the essential or cooperative boost. So the student's reaction is moved starting from one upgrade then onto the next. And according to that law, we can get any response, right, from the learner of which he is capable, associated with any situation to which he is sensitive. Okay, so this is, okay, the summary of all these. Okay, but before that, let's try to jump first. Okay, to B.F. Skinner, right? Bruce Skinner's operant conditioning. Do you remember him? Idea of reinforcement and punishment. Can you give me heart react if you remember B.F. Skinner? Mhm. It's the idea of reinforcement and punishment. Okay, correct. Thank you, Ma'am Jenny. So, yeah, he's an American psychologist who is best known for developing the theory of behaviorism. American psychologist who is also best known for the same theory. So, maybe you've seen this picture that I presented to you last time, right? Specific consequences are associated with a voluntary behavior, since the behavior now comes from you. Still, you are triggered by a certain stimulus, but it depends on your action that can create a certain effect. It can be the positive one, like here, the food, or you will be electrocuted on this scenario. Okay, so there are types of behaviors: respondent behaviors and operant behaviors. So for respondent behaviors, these are those that occur automatically and reflexively. So just by having the stimulus, any stimulus, okay, automatically you will create a certain response, such as pulling your hand back from a hot stove, for instance, because, right, ang init ng mantika, or natalsikan ka ng mantika, and so on. Or sometimes jerking your leg when the doctor taps on your knee. So you don't have to learn these behavior because they simply occur automatically and involuntarily. Right? Or sometimes you're so happy. Maybe you are this kind of person who's so happy, and not only you laugh out loud, but you also what? Hit your friend. Right? I think it's normal to Filipinos to share stories and then tap someone beside you because you are so happy. Okay, without even realizing that you're literally and physically hurting the other person. While on the other hand, we have operant behaviors. Right? These are those under our conscious control. We have the control, right? We can decide on what response to do, what behavior to exemplify. Why? It depends on getting, right, the response. It can be, I mean, the effect, right? It can be the positive one because you like the reward. That's why you give your best to recite, for instance, in a classroom, or because you don't want to be punished. That's why you stop doing it. Okay. So in this case, Skinner invented different devices during his boyhood, and he put these skills to work together, right, during his studies in operant conditioning. Okay, so again, the idea of reinforcement in operant conditioning and punishment in operant conditioning. Do you remember the positive and negative reward? Can someone remind us? Sir Paulo, are you there? Can you remind everybody about reinforcement and punishment first before we you dig deeper into positive and negative reinforcement and positive and negative punishment? Do you still remember? I made sure I clarified both, right? In terms of the idea of reinforcement and punishment, when do we apply these two? Hmm. Of course, we're talking about a certain behavior. Yes, Sir Pao.
I'm sorry po, I have the idea.
Okay, thank you, Sir. Sir Nixon, do you remember? When do we give rewards? When do we give reinforcement? If what? If the behavior is? Yes, Sir Jigger, thank you for raising a hand. You may unmute.
Reinforcement po kapag mabuti po yung I like the student did a good job.
Okay, correct. So you're referring to reinforcement, right, that is given to a student or a child if there is a positive behavior that you like him to continue doing. Correct. How about punishment, sir?
The punishment, it means you are acknowledging the negative behavior or
Hmm?
of the student.
Exactly, right? You give punishment because you like the negative behavior to stop. That's it, right? That's the idea. Please don't forget about this. We keep on reiterating this part. How about when we talked about positive and negative reinforcement, right? There's positive and negative reinforcement. Remember the idea of adding and removing, right? Adding of and removal of. Do you remember that? Right? Because when we analyze, right, reinforcement into positive and negative and punishment into positive and negative, it's not the literal positive and negative, right? The idea is adding and removing. Okay, anyone? Mhm. Ma'am Almira, are you now there? Again, this is just a review. We had this last time. You will be needing all these ideas when you take let, especially on the of course the prof ed part, right? The situational, questions that somehow give you yes.
Example of positive reinforcement is getting rewarded after you perfect the examination and your mother rewarded you a gift or money. And negative reinforcement example is leaving the house as early as possible to avoid getting stuck in the traffic. So we
Mhm.
can see the removal of negative condition to strengthen the behavior.
Yeah, correct. I like that. I like that, you know, that intrinsic reward that you receive, right? Which is on the negative reinforcement that you do something because you want your positive behavior of being early, right? To continue without giving yourself anything, but just by, leaving the house early. Correct, Ma'am Mira. Thank you. How about positive and negative punishment? Mm, let me call others. Mhm. Ma'am Juveline? Ma'am Juveline? Of course, again, for the punishment, you like to decrease that negative behavior. That's why you give or you add, right, a stimuli following behavior for positive punishment. While for negative one, you remove it, right? But still, okay, the negative behavior stop. Anyone? Ma'am Lynn, you may unmute. Mhm. So, just like here, right? So in this case, the negative behavior is the child's cursing, right? The swearing of the child. So in this case, spanking the child, that's the positive punishment, right? Because you want him to stop cursing, so right? Again, it's not positive that it's good to spank a child, but it's positive because you add a punishment, right? Is that clear? Can you give me like or active that's clear? Well, for the negative one, you're telling the child to go to his room for cursing. You didn't spank the child, right? But just go to his room. That is the removal of the spanking punishment. Okay? May I ask for like react if everything is clear here? Again, this is a reiteration and a review about our previous discussion. Okay, thank you, teachers. Okay, now the Neo-behaviorism or New Behaviorism from 1930 to 1955. It's the study of learning and a focus on rigorously objective observational methods that were the keys to scientific psychology. That includes Edward Tolman's purposive learning, a theory in learning cognitively that expresses that social demonstrations have a fundamental reason and purpose. So the idea of purpose, right? Cognitively, that expresses that social demonstrations have a fundamental reason and purpose, that all objectives of the activity, right, direct behavior until the objective is reached. It's focus, right? It's evident every time we start our class. I present to you the objective so you know that there is a goal to achieve, right? There's an objective to reach. There is an activity to accomplish. Right? So Tolman also conjectured and proposed that people learn because of the way they associate with their condition. Understanding why an individual interfaces with their condition as they do, that maybe what their motivation is in finishing the connection, permitted Tolman to see increasingly about the student or an individual and their behavior. And a lot of Tolman's examination and researches centered around significant behavior or behavior that was finished with the sole motivation behind causing a response. So there should something, or that something is a purpose that can trigger you to achieve or do or accomplish a task. So Tolman's key idea is that learning is consistently purposive and objective oriented. Right? I mean, it's really hard to simply rely on your, intrinsic motivation, right? But these objectives help you. I need to accomplish all these objectives given by ma'am early, because these are the ways I can learn things, right? With that in mind, or even, yeah, your own goals in life, your own objectives in life. I would like to graduate or graduate with flying colors. What else? I would like to get a high paying job. Okay, even though I'm in education field, that's still possible. That only what demands you to conduct more researches and improve your professional growth and development. Okay. Also, his idea is that learning the area of reward. Okay, why? You also reward yourself. It's not only that reward comes from external factors, right, but you also reward yourself every time you achieve a certain purpose that you set to yourself. So for example, after I finish watching all these series, right? Because it's part of the 500-hour English exposure, and mom earlier reminded us about it again. So how are you doing with the challenge? So in that case, you may reward yourself after that, if that's not for you a reward. Also, learning goes on without it being clear, right? Why? Because from time to time, right, every time you step to the next level, okay, learning continues, right? Learning here. So for instance, right, when I ask you to give me insights or to at least simply recall, right, these theories, these laws that we already discussed before, right, you realize that not all of them are clear to you before, or maybe you just forgot about them. But now, right, everything is being made clear. If not, please tell me, right? Teachers shouldn't assume that you understand. That's why I waited for your at least nonverbal feedback to tell me if you can still remember them or not. Another intervening factors fill in as determinants of behavior, which are varied, right? In terms of how you see the behavior, it can be the intervening factors can be your personal profile, it can be external factors, can be your teacher, your parents, your friends. Reinforcement is not important for learning, which I don't agree. Again, these are his ideas, so you can debunk, you can agree or disagree. In this case, I believe the reinforcement is important for learning. That is why, look at this, learning the area of reward. I don't know why his idea is, typed here like this. Okay, so another for neo-behaviorism, we have Albert Bandura's social learning theory, which you already know, right? About the idea that immediate reinforcement could not represent a wide range of learning, right? Not all the time, right? The immediate reward, right, could give you that certain learning. Why? Because sometimes that's the fear, right? That's the fear of always rewarding our students, right? Maybe you've had a debate in mind, right, or an argument in mind that, ma'am, what about if it creates, right? I mean, unhealthy competition, right? You might realize that, or ma'am, what if they're only doing it like it became a habit that we have reward after a certain accomplishment or achievement from a student, but then, right? But then that only is the main reason that he is what performing in class, right? Sometimes you feel that, okay, it's simply to compete or to compare himself among the classmates, right? What, right? That can be your fear, that the motivation doesn't come from, right, and doesn't come naturally. So that's a fear that you may consider. Okay, what can you say about this statement? Individuals can learn through observation. Okay. I mean, as math majors, maybe you can estimate. Maybe you can give me a percentage out of 100%. Like, you can assess, or how do you assess your learning in terms of observation? Do you think like 80% or 90% you are observing? That's why you learn? That's why I don't always believe in the cliche. Not always, but I really don't believe in by merely saying, right? If you limit yourself to the idea that experience is the best teacher, you get that? Right? Because, I mean, the idea that you have to experience it before you have to learn it, observation can happen there, right? Observation can happen there. You don't need to, for instance, for the wrong decisions that people make, right? You can simply throw, I mean, they're okay, studies, their dispositions are valid. I also validate them. But for you to always tell the person, because you're not in my situation and you can't understand, right? I mean, maybe not the 100% feeling can be understood or can be felt by someone, but just by merely observing, just by merely being empathetic, I think you can learn, right? You can observe that. So, for instance, you realize that, ay, di mo na-experience to kasi wala kang boyfriend and so on. Right? You don't need to have one for you to know that, right, that person made a wrong decision. Right? So, anyone would like to argue? I mean, right? I mean, just by mere observation. Okay. And again, their reasons are valid, their situations are valid. I understand that. But let's also understand that these people who would like to sympathize with you, right? They know, and they really would like you to know how that they feel the same way you do, right? Maybe not being in your actual shoes, but they understand it. So I hope you appreciate your accountability partners or friends, right, who are really there to support you most of the time. So again, you can learn through observation. Well, to some, they even revise that cliche, right? That saying. Sometimes they say evaluated experience is the best teacher. Maybe that one I can take, right? Because you evaluated a certain experience of someone, or you evaluated your own experience. That's why you learn, right? Because not all the time that you experience things, you learn from it. Do you agree? Right? Sometimes you experience that over and over, but you're not learning, and maybe you have certain scenarios in mind, right? Certain scenarios that, for instance, oh, sige, let's go to your favorite topic, relationships, love, right? And then, your friend will say, ayan, wala ka kasing kadala-dala, alam mo nang niloloko ka and all, but then, right, you still choose to be with the same person. Oh, ma'am, kasi mahal ko, ma'am, kasi, and so on. How about your evaluation of your experience, right? You know you deserve, right, being more than being treated that way, right? You know your identity, you know your, right, you know you are meaningful, you know you are worthy to be loved and to be praised, for instance, right? So evaluated experience can be your best teacher. Always evaluate. It's important even for teachers, right? Reflective teaching, right, is important for you to learn, right? But if you stick to the same activity over and over, and you don't even explore other things that can make your students interested to your topic, or at least to be present in your virtual environment, right, or to your virtual classes or synchronous class, right, they won't learn. I mean, right, that is one reason our students would like to attend our class, because, well, that's only one factor, teacher factor, right. Also the pedagogy or the pedagogical practices of the teacher, right, or big factor in terms of that. So you have to evaluate. Okay, it's important that we reflect, we assess, we evaluate all these experiences, and we observed attentively, right. Our observation must be a logical, rational, right, realistic. Okay, it's not that we observe and then we also regret it. It's the same thing when you experience something but you don't evaluate your experience, right. It will be cyclical for you. Okay. So anyone would like to share something? Okay, I think I said a lot of things. Maybe you disagree to some. I would like to hear your your insights about that. Again, okay, I'm not an all-knowing person. I can be wrong for you, right? You may have point, right? I would like to hear that. I would like to hear disagreement, agreement. It's fine. It's a sharing class, so maybe I can also learn from you and I can consider your side. So most of the time I do that, so at least I'm not being one-sided here. Anyone who agrees, disagrees? Ma'am Love?
Agree po.
Okay. Okay, agree. Okay, thank you. How about someone who disagrees? I would like to hear. Okay, Sir Ed, agree. How about the others? Sir Nixon?
Ma'am, I agree po.
Okay, thank you. Okay, how about Ma'am Juveline? Are you there?
I agree din po.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Um, any of your insights that you'd like to share aside from saying you agree with me? I'm sorry, I'm very talkative. I would also like to hear from you. Can you share your own hugot here? Maybe I said a lot of things, right? That are definitely realistic, right? They're not simply hugot, but they're really realistic. Okay. Sometimes maybe you are that kind of friend, right? Who always, you know, repeats the same line over and over to your friend who is being hurt, right? And really you said, oh, I've served a lot of that, right? And you don't need really to experience it literally, right? For you to learn from it, right? And most of our learnings come from observation. Sir Jigs, yes, please unmute. Thank you.
Um, yes po, ma'am, yung that individuals can learn through observation, but sometimes result it may result negatively because not all the things that we observe are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like for example, a child is observing something from an adult that is not right, but he has no idea that it isn't right. So he just
Yeah, the wrong behavior.
adapt what he just observed.
Correct, correct, right? So again, even our observations must be evaluated. So evaluated observation is a must as well. I remember a student of mine told me that, also, of course, we can't simply generalize or we can simply stereotype an experience of a person just because of his background, right? This student of mine, you know, I think opened the eyes of everybody in the room when he said that, yes, I'm a product of this kind of family background, but it doesn't mean I will be like them, right? He told everybody that, ma'am, uh, it's not because I'm part of or I'm a product of a broken family, I will always be, right, the rebellious one. No, I mean, he told us that, ma'am, it will still always depend on the person himself, right? It will always depend on the person himself because you have evaluated observation, you have evaluated experience, right? That actually help you, right, decide or make decisions on the right path to take. So that's right. Okay. However, yes, I mean, general, observation, you can say that, but it doesn't apply to all. Right? It doesn't apply to all. So in that case, correct, Sir Jigs? Yeah, you have to also apply evaluated observation, right? Learning doesn't always mean adopting or adapting, right? Well, adapting is fine, the A, so with modification, right? But it's not the same with when you observe that you mimic. No, right? You evaluate what you have observed, and learning, right? Saying the word learning about what you have observed can be of two things, right? You learn that it's wrong, so you don't do it. You learn that it's right, so you do it. You get it? Okay. May I ask for heart react there? Okay. Thank you so much. So these are essential models of observation and learning. We have live model, meaning it's there, it's present, right? It's the real individual exhibiting or showcasing a behavior. We are present. Symbolic model includes genuine anecdotal characters showing practices in books, films, TV programs, or online media. And most of the time, we are being deceived, right, by these symbolic models. And we have verbal instructional models, again, through words only. It includes representations and clarifications of behavior. Explanation, that's one. That's a different, model of observational learning. Another, mental states are essential to learning, right? Given our discussion last time about exceptionalities of learners, definitely if you have the right mind, right, the appropriate mental capacity for a certain information to absorb, yes, it is essential to learning. Your own psychological state and inspiration assume a significant job in deciding if your behavior is found out or not. Also, learning does not necessarily lead to change, right? Just like what I said earlier, right? It depends on you, on how you will adapt. Will you adopt it or adapt it? So in some cases, we can learn things even though that learning probably won't be quickly self-evident, while behaviorists, right, accepted that learning prompted a perpetual change in behavior. Observation learning exhibits that individuals can learn new information without showing new practices, right? Sometimes it's just here, it sticks here in our mind, but it's not put into practice, right? Okay, key elements for progress. We have attention, retention, processing, and motivation. For attention, it includes modeled events, right? Like your affective valence, complexity, prevalence, your sensory capacities, arousal level. So here, consumer sees the behavior in an ad, for instance. And then retention, consumer remembers the behavior in the ad, which normally happens to me every time I see an ad. Processing, consumer has the ability to use the product. So because maybe it's a positive what or response that you are convinced to use a product, and motivation, consumer needs the advertised product. So that's a concrete example there, and it leads to observational learning that occurs where consumer purchases the product he or she observed in the ad. Are you like that? For example, you're browsing on IG story and then suddenly there's an ad story, right, of a product, and then there's a link that is actually stimulus, right, for your natural, sense or natural occurring response to click the swipe up, right? The swipe up link and then go directly to checkout. Okay. Well, it depends on, well, first, that's the attention, right? It grabs your attention. And then maybe, for instance, you need to do something else and then you postpone, exploring the shop, for instance, Shopee, to name it. Okay. And then you remember, oh, I need efficacent oil. Okay, I'm experiencing, the tita mode, sakit ng likod, or any body pain that you call. And then you process it, right? You realize that you have the ability to use the product because you are an adult and you experience back pain most often because of the online classes or because of what you're doing in front of your PC or gadget, right? And then you are now motivated that you need the product, right? You are encouraged. I think I need it. I think I shouldn't doubt. Usually, these okay, I can say that I normally go through these progress every time I need to purchase something. Okay, I followed all of these. This is me literally following these elements for progress, right? And then the latter part, of course, the ending, I purchase the product. But it takes a lot of, thinking, of praying, of dreaming about a product, and so many things. So how about you? Do you also experience the same thing with me? Or is it just me, the Shopaholic here? Or Ma'am Shannon? No, you're not. How to be you, okay?
Ima, mag-astos din po.
Okay. So, what product line are you into? I mean, that you are easily, encouraged or convinced to purchase.
Books, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. I'm also a member of different Facebook groups of books, buy and sell of books, right? So, yeah. In that case, I was actually attacked by a typography on social media that says, before you buy a new book, because I always hoard books, read everything first. So I'm very guilty of that. Okay. So again, it's important for you teachers to have your own mini library. Okay. Please start investing on your mini library. But then it saddened me when I saw a picture or post in social media during the Typhoon Ulysses. Have you seen that post? Two luggages, there were two luggages, and then there were a lot of books compiled in the luggage. And then the caption was, gusto ko lang naman magbasa, kaya lang naalala ko taga Marikina pala ako. And then, that's so heartbreaking. Imagine, look at all the books inside the luggages and all. In my case, I have shelves here inside the room. So, again, as teachers, whatever your field is, you have to invest. Start investing in your mini library, right? So at least, right, when we grow old, we have all these, that's your treasure as well. Okay. And so we've applied that, right, into real life experience. Let's have our breakout session. Let me check if we have time. Yes, we still have time. So for the breakout session, you're going to design an extracurricular activity in your future school that will promote behaviorist approach of learning, and as well as engaging your students towards loving your subject, which is mathematics, right? It's a challenge. So you have to fill out the following outline. So to accomplish your task, you have to provide a rationale, objectives, executive summary, procedure, and assessment of the project. So the rational, objectives, executive summary, procedure on how you will conduct the extracurricular activity. By the way, it's up to you if it's for long term or it's just for one time, big time event. It's up to you. Okay, so again, screenshot the parts. Okay. As you design an extracurricular activity, you will use my Canva links again, right, for you to edit. I use the template brochure, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, program template. Okay, I use the program template so you can input all those parts. This is for group 1. Let me divide you now into groups. Use the breakout session. If you are watching from YouTube, please enter the Zoom meeting so we can have all these. have 3. I will divide you into 3. Okay, I think they're from YouTube. Please join us here. Okay, I will assign you automatically. Great. Okay, so we have 5 for room 1, 5 for room 2, and 5. Wow, 15 for room 3. Okay. Oh, someone got disconnected just now. Okay, so let me give you 40 minutes. Okay, so group 1, please. Okay, screenshot this. I will also paste all the links in the chat. So you can easily click it. You may also access or scan a QR code. Chat. Okay, are you done taking screenshot? Group 1. Next, group 2. Okay, I paste it now in the chat, so you may click the link. For group 1, we have Sir Jigs, Juveline, CK, and Sha. For room 2, we have B-Boy, Mira, Lynn, and Sha. We had 2 for 2 accounts for Shannon, 2 gadgets. Let me move. Okay, so Sha, you belong to room 1. Okay, next we have room 3. Ice, Aaron, Pau, Love, and Nick. Okay. Questions? Okay, for group 3, we have the link. So I have the template program, an awesome program design in Canva by, group 3. You may take screenshot. Okay, I will now open the room. Please have, ma'am, wala po ako group. Oh, ma'am Jenny, okay. Let me check. Where do you belong? Already 5 here. Assign. Why, did you get disconnected? Okay, let me double check. Ma'am Jenny. Maria. Yeah, you're not here. How is that possible? Maria. Group 3, okay. Yeah, because, no, we already have 5 for room 3. Maybe I can assign Ma'am Jenny to room 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, many people got disconnected, right? For room 1. Okay, room 2, Ma'am Jenny. Join room 2. Okay. Ma'am, I came from YouTube. Okay, yeah, Sir Mav. We already have groups, Sir Mav. Okay, let me recreate. Sorry. So everyone has. Okay, I'll do it again. Please stay there. Okay, so let me screenshot this. Okay, again, for room 1, we have Sir Aaron, Mav, and Lynn. Okay, that's the new one. For room 2, we have B-Boy I, CK, Love, Sha. Okay, Sha is now in group 2, room 2. Room 3, Pau, Mira, Juveline, and Ma'am Jenny. Okay, yeah. Very complete now. So 5, 4, 5, 4. Again, room 1, Aaron, Jigs, Mav, Lynn. Room 2, B-Boy, I, CK, Love, Sha. And room 3, we have Sir Pao, Mira, Juveline, and Ma'am Jenny, babe. Okay? Please ask your questions. By the way, if you need help, you can simply invite me and ask for help. I can join you there. Okay? Sir Aaron, you are in group 1 now. I recreated because there are some people who just joined us from YouTube. I'm sorry. Okay, we need to recreate. So I will open the rooms now. Sir Nick, in what room did I assign you? Sir Nick?
Ma'am, hindi ko po alam kung paano pumasok sa room.
No, I mean, have I assigned you to one before? Not yet?
Ma'am, 3 po.
Okay, 3. Thank
3,
you.
ma'am.
Sure. Done. Okay, hi teachers. Are you still there? Okay, I think we're complete now. We're 14 now. Okay, so I've noticed that you still need more time, of course. So we'll just have the presentation next meeting. I already saw one. Congratulations to that group. I think that's Math Trail, right? I think I've seen it in my Canva. Okay, so let's have our class picture. Please turn on your videos. Again, please choose two representatives to present the process, design, and content of your extracurricular activity. Okay, ready? In 3 seconds, turn on your videos. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, God bless you all. Have a good night. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate all of you. God bless you all. Stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yes po.
Thank you po.
Bye-bye, ma'am.
Take care.
Take care too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.